for School Board of Northwest Schools, Nate Edwards. Hi, Nate.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
A lot of people running for school boards this year. Why did you decide you wanted to be on the Northwest Board?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think it's great that there's so much interest, right? And I think it's good to see that, and I really hope that we can capitalize on that and keep that momentum going forward with parental involvement in the school boards, in the schools. So I just think that's great to see that, and I really hope. I've had a lot of interaction with parents within the school district, and I hope this is not just for the election cycle and then we move on. You know, parents need to be involved. The reason why I ran, to put it very clearly, I saw what I perceive a need for, I guess, a change in leadership. I hear a lot about the success of the district, and let me be clear, there's a lot of really good things going on at Northwest. I have 3 daughters in the school. I'm there a lot. I see what's going on. There's been a lot of good things done. The facilities have been cleaned up. We got the beautiful new early elementary school. We have the new football fields, the tennis courts. We have great teachers. We have a lot of resources. We have the building blocks to be great. But what I've perceived is we got all of that done, and it feels like we've taken our foot off the gas a little bit. We got a little comfortable. And there's a lot of people that have been on that board for a long time. And so I look at some of the other information, the other details of what's going on at the school. Specifically, how are we doing at educating the students? So I look at test scores, I look at the eye test. You know, I encounter young people, and how do I feel like that's going? And I feel like that needs a lot of attention. So I go to the board minutes. I start reading them. And I'm not hearing this come up as a topic. So then I start attending the board meetings, and I still don't hear this coming up as a topic. So I grow concerned. So I guess a big part of it is we have all of these resources. We have all of these great things going on. We shouldn't let our academic standards fall by the wayside. We have to find a way to improve the proficiency scores that we see coming out of the district. We have the resources. Let's put those resources towards that. That's critical. I mean, we are living in a time where these kids have to be prepared for what comes next. We have global economies. We're being passed by in the world.
So change in leadership, you said. You want a change in leadership. Yep. What does that mean? So here's what concerns me about it. When I talk to people specifically about the test scores, and I've had a lot of conversations. Some of them have been very enlightening, and I've engaged people that agree with me, that disagree with me. I'm open. I want to hear from everybody. And one of the things that has occurred to me is there's a lot of nuance to this issue, right? So I've heard things like this: the test scores don't matter, because there are all these variables that affect the score. So that's not a good way to judge what's going on in the school. I've also heard that's the only thing that matters. I've talked to parents, I've talked to school board, I've talked to administration, current teachers, former teachers. There's a lot of different opinions. So back to the question, change in leadership, what do you mean specifically?
So what I'm getting at is this. What I don't hear is anyone talking about this problem. I hear a lot of finger pointing and blaming. Why are the scores so low? But I don't hear anyone talking about it. And I think what leaders do is they don't place blame. They don't point the finger. Leaders take ownership. Leaders take responsibility, and they seek solutions. I'm not hearing that talk. So I'm willing to be the person to go in and have that conversation. I've gained a lot from this district over the years. I graduated from Northwest. It's meant a lot to me. And I want to see it be at the top of that. And in order to get there, we have to start having the conversation.
All right, tell me about yourself, what you do, your family, your involvement in Northwest Schools.
What I do, so I live in the district, And I have 3 daughters. I have a senior, I have a freshman, and I have a 6th grader, all girls. So it's interesting at my house. What I do for work, I do a couple things. I wear a few different hats. I work at a local manufacturer. I am the engineering and skilled trades manager. So to that point, I would like the trades is very important to me. I work in that industry. I see the need. I also am a licensed health and life insurance agent. So actually this time of year is very busy for me because we just started open enrollment for health insurance. So I will spend my evenings working on that. I spend a lot of time working with the under or uninsured, trying to get them insured. In the Jackson area, also I'm licensed in 17 states, so throughout the country.
Tell me about your involvement at Northwest Schools. What are you involved in?
Well, I'm involved in anything I can. Right now, my focus is trying to obviously get involved at the school board level, right? So being there, being present. I love the athletics. I love the sports.
When you asked to come on the show, you said you wanted to talk about a book and book banning, and you published on you're posted on your Facebook campaign page a book called "Middle School's a Drag, You Better Work," and you asked the question, do you think this is appropriate material for the middle school library?
Correct.
What was the purpose of that?
So I think we need to engage this conversation. Listen, you can't turn on your TV or get on the internet without hearing about these blow-ups at school boards across the country. Parents are concerned about what is available to their children, about what's being taught. And I think it's really important that we have the conversation about what is and isn't appropriate at certain age levels. Unfortunately, what's happened with this question is we go to I ask a question and the response is this guy's trying to ban books, right? Which is like a weird political talking point to try.
Well, you specifically posted a picture of a book on your Facebook page and said, is this supposed to be in the middle school library?
Yep.
Is it?
Well, that's the question.
Do you think it is?
Here's what I think. Fundamentally, educating children is a partnership with the parents, okay? The school should educate on the things that the parents can't, specifically math, science, reading. You know, a lot of times parents aren't trained in this. There are things that the parents, or that should be educated in the home, things like morality, politics, religion, gender, sexuality. Those things belong in the home. And if we are teaching things like that at the school, we're crossing a line. That needs to be left in the home. So if this book is intent on doing that, crossing that line, then it doesn't belong there.
Does it?
And I would say that it appears to, yes. It appears to cross that line.
I haven't read the book. Have you?
I've read, I haven't finished it. I'm reading about 6 books right now, but I have read through it. I've skimmed it. And it seems, some of the content seems unnecessary. Like you could do this story without some of this content. You know, I would say it's towing the line. And again, it's a conversation that is important to parents, so we need to have it. And what I here's the argument that I hear that honestly frustrates me a little bit. It's this. The kids have the internet, so why does what's in the library matter? Well, if you really dig into that argument, it doesn't go very far, because you could ask the question, but following that logic, should we allow pornography in the library, right? Because that's on the internet. The question isn't whether or not there's a line, it's where's the line? And it's something that parents are concerned about, so the responsible thing to do is talk about it. That's all I'm asking. Let's have a conversation, let's set a standard, and let's stick to the standard. And I think that's the responsible thing to do.
Do you think books should be banned from the school libraries?
I think books should be appropriate for the ages that they're available to.
Who decides that?
That's a good question. I've actually asked that, and I can't get a straight answer. So I've asked that. I've posed that question to a number of people within the district, at the superintendent, and I haven't been able to get a straight answer as to how those decisions are made, which is concerning, if I'm going to be honest. I feel like somebody should know. there should be a filter. I mean, you've got young children. They shouldn't be exposed to just anything.
One more question. The schools are grappling with teacher shortages. What should districts be doing, and what do you plan on doing, should you be elected to the board, to get more teachers, retain teachers?
So I wrote this thing for MLive. I think you've probably read it, and I addressed this a little bit in there. I think one of the things that's essential right now is to really getting a feel for what's going on with the teachers. Like, if a teacher leaves, why did they leave? What's going on that would motivate a teacher to leave? And those things have to be addressed. You know, where I work, if we have somebody that decides to leave our company, we do a very detailed exit interview. Why'd you leave? What did you not like about it? What were the problems? What could we do better? What could we do different? Some of those things you can address, some you can't. I mean, sometimes people aren't a good match. But that's the conversation. It needs to be happening regularly, and if we can address the things, we should address them.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And good luck. Wait, just one second. Candidate for Northwest School Board, Nate Edwards. More